to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee.
This segment is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still phone, papa pair fee, whatever gadgets you're looking for, whether mobile phones, television sets, CCTV cameras, microwaves, tabletop fridges. We've got all of them covered. And so all you have to do is to pick the number that you see on the screen right now and call us. Please don't go on Google to pick the number. There are scammers on Google. Please and please again, I repeat, don't go on Google to pick the number, but rather pick the number that you see on the screen right now and call us. To make things very simple, you can download the app on your phone, which is the Franco Trading app, and you purchase whatever gadget you want to purchase from there, or visit our website for further inquiries. Is www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone papa pair fee. Now, there's so much that's been happening, but before I delve into what's been happening and the newspapers, I just want to tell you that Valentine is just around the corner. Now, we asked and you sent your pictures. As your pictures have been sent, we say to you, the couples that are watching, that you should share with your loved ones and let them like. Now, we are not going to select because of how we feel about you, but because of how the public feels about you. So the pictures with the most likes and comments will definitely be picked. We are going to select 3 of you, and you will get to have a weekend stay at the plush Western Serene Atlantic Hotel in Takoradi. So we'll be taking you to Takoradi to enjoy the lovely weekend there. The Western Serene Atlantic has a lot to offer you this Valentine's season. So make sure that you get all the likes, you get all the comments, and we'll do that. Now, the post is on Instagram, is on Facebook, and is on X. So go and like them, leave your comments, and we will select based on that. Now, for those of you who also just want to experience the Western Atlantic Hotel, there is a lot that's happening that night. If you want to sleep that night, there are 2 packages for you. There's the 3,470 Ghana cedis package, which has the bed and breakfast, Swiss massage, chocolate, a bottle of wine, and dinner. We'll be waiting for a day for only 3,470 Ghana cedis. Now, for those of you who want package 2, of course, you know we've got you covered with that one too, right? Now, for package 2 is 2,670, and for that one, you get bed and breakfast, you get a bottle of wine, you get chocolate, you get a fruit platter, and you get Swiss massage. So you get all of that for 2,670. So pick up your phone right now and make your reservations. And for those of you who don't want to sleep there, don't worry. It's only 450 Ghana cedis for you to come and have dinner with your loved ones. So 450 Ghana cedis per head. Now we'll give you dinner, we'll give you chocolate, we'll give you a glass of wine, and there'll be a saxophonist in the house as well. So come, let's enjoy Valentine's today together at the Western Serene Atlantic Hotel. It's going to be an amazing time. I love love, and so I want to see you there. I'm going to be there myself, so I can't wait to see all of you. Now, today we want you to join us as we stream live on Facebook. So you go on our Facebook page and leave your comments there. And also, if you can't do that, you can join us on our WhatsApp number 055 157 5757, 055 157 5757. My guest, I have my first guest here. He's joining us and he's representing the NDC this morning. Honorable Eben Kweku Ado, who is the Member of Parliament for Esutifi North. Hello, good morning, Honorable.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great, and it's good to have you here.
Good to be in the studios too. I think this is my first time.
Yeah.
I'm happy to see the studio as it is now.
Thank you very much. And we'll have the NPP rep also join us later. But for now, we do have just Honorable Ado here with us. And today we want to take a look at about 4 topics so that we are taking a look at. Yes, sometimes we do 1, sometimes we do 2, but today we want to do 4 because there's so much that's been trending and that you have been speaking about. We'll be taking a look at Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. Okay, so we'll take a look, not just at that, but we'll most likely, if we have time, we'll take a look at that. But our concentration is more on what the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has said with regards to ministers' travel. So now ministers cannot travel first class, unlike they used to do before. And if you want to travel, you have to get the clearance of the Chief of Staff before you do any travels. We'll also take a look at the rise of cholera outbreak in the central region. Quite alarming. From 6th of February, now listen to the dates very well, 6th of February to the 8th of February, over 69 cases have been reported with 2 deaths. 2 days, 69 cases. Wow. All right, so we'll take a look at that. And then yesterday, national security got a big bust, busting containers, about 20 containers,
12.
with 12 containers, but 20 feet, with 20-feeter containers, 12 of them, with money, some dollars, some cedis, counterfeit, gold bars, alleged. Well, we'll talk about that too, and we need you to be a part of our conversation this morning. But I'll start off with our very first newspaper. That's the Daily Graphic newspaper. The Daily Graphic newspaper. Don't travel first class, President Mahama instructs appointees. AG terminates 3 more criminal cases. 2025 National Chocolate Week launched, and we are in the National Chocolate Week. So this Friday, I hope I get my chocolate from you all, okay? Massive gold cash bust. National security seizes millions. Suspects flee. Kwame Sefakai honored for contributing to pediatric care, and this man has done so much. I remember when he was raising funds to buy incubators. Congratulations to him. He deserves this because we need people like his kind on earth. Timber industry lost rights choice for Forestry Commission CEO, and that'll be it for the Daily Graphic newspaper. The next newspaper is the Daily Democrat. The Daily Democrat. Fear grips NPP elements at Bank of Ghana as Dr. Amoah returns. SIC Life staff welcomes new MD. Honorable Dr. Zenator A. Rollins and the controversial remarks. Now, these remarks, I don't know what the outcome will be, but I can assure you that some constituents are not too happy about this particular comment that was made in Parliament. The Ghanaian Publisher newspaper is my final newspaper, the Ghanaian Publisher newspaper. Africa targets $1 a day fund to quicken after integration. Yeah. NDC left $7.8 million Hajj debt. Former Hajj board chair fires back. My daughter is the apple of my eye, Baba Sam declares, and timber industry applauds Mahama's pick for Forestry Commission, and that'll be all for our newspapers. Honorable Dr. Stephen Amoah has joined us. He's the former Deputy Finance Minister. Hello, good morning, Honorable. How are you? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been really a while.
Yeah.
When I saw that I was coming to meet you, I'm like, ish.
Yeah, you're meeting your sister. It's good
For a long
see you.
time.
Yes, it's good to see you one more time. Anyway, so this morning you can join us as well. We want to start off with even what the story on Daily Graphic says. So don't travel first class. President Mahama instructs appointees.
Travel first class.
This one, so it's coming as a surprise to some people because some people say ministers do not even travel first class.
Certainly.
In the first place. So why will he say this? Is it that he wanted to talk about economy and he said that? It wasn't going to talk about business and he said that? Or he really meant it because some ministers have been flying first class. So let me start this conversation with you, Honorable Ado. This is coming from the president who belongs to your party. And you say you are resetting Ghana. So is this one of the resets?
First of all, let me say hi to your cherished viewers. This has been my first time of coming here. I know my constituents, especially my mom, is watching me. I'm saying good morning to all my constituents, Asuti Finov. I think this is a refreshing news and a welcoming one, of course. Ghana and, for that matter, Ghanaians are happy to hear President Mahama put such statement forward. It is a bold step, and it is towards the resetting agenda in the interest of Ghanaian economy. We have a social contract with Ghanaians. We are supposed to provide them with so many things. And he sees this kind of luxurious travels as a waste on the government's purse. And so taking this bold step to ban all travels in first class, though people are saying ministers don't use, maybe he had the notion that once some previous administration used to travel and incur a cost on the Ghanaian economy, he will rather, yes. Sometimes it is good to make a statement to caution the upcoming minister. You know, he's just constituted his cabinet and then appointed various ministers, and it is a word of caution. I think we have to make sure the Ghanaian people knows what is happening. Sometimes, if you don't make a bold statement, the perception out there is that this is what is happening. So the president, being the first gentleman of the country, making such a statement reposes the trust Ghanaians have in the government and John Mahama. And so I think it's a good way of making sure that Ghanaians know what is happening. Even though on the other side, people might not know what really happens, making it clear to them that, no, I'm not going to support ministers, or I won't condone ministers traveling in first class. I think it's
So you think he really
nice
meant
idea.
the first class? So there's a high possibility that there were some ministers who were traveling first
There's a
class.
possibility. For now, we don't know the details, but I think it's good that the public is being made aware that ministers will not be using first class.
Okay. Honourable, as a former Minister of State, when ministers travelling on
Deputy Minister of
former
Finance.
Deputy Minister, but still you were Minister of State though.
Okay, sure.
Yes.
You are right.
So
100%.
were you travelling first class?
Before I proceed, I would like to extend my regards to my constituency, Inshiaso constituency, and the good people of Ghana, and also thank your outfit for giving me this opportunity. Honestly speaking, godly speaking, I've never seen any appointee, including myself, because I traveled a number of times because of the finance ministry, and we never, ever traveled on first class ticket. We never did that, so I am surprised. Probably the president might have been misinformed. However, if he means well, and it's not the usual politicking just to get home political capital, I don't think it's a bad idea, because we all talk about wastage in the system. So if that is his intention, but I'm surprised that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, he has been a vice president before, a president before, a minister before. I really don't know where he's deriving his pieces of information from. So it will be very difficult to contend that statement as of now. But I think if indeed it's a mistake, as a president, the best thing is to come back and correct himself. But if it is also so, once Ghanaians are doubting whether ministers do travel on business tickets, he should come clear with pieces of evidence or even clarification, because other people are saying that it's the usual propaganda most politicians do when they resume power or they get a mandate of Ghanaians. But let's go into, as you said, is it resetting Ghana? One of the challenges confronting us as a country is how we manage our expenditure, our expenditures. You know, it is the outcry of most Ghanaians that we cut down expenditure because we think most of the time we spend on items that do not necessarily impact our GDP or even our social lives, and that plunges us into high debt to GDP and stuff like that. So probably if that is the rationale or motivation, it wouldn't be bad to have that motive. But I think he might have gotten this wrong. Unless he has a piece of information I don't have.
You don't have,
because
right?
we have something called asymmetric information.
Mm-hmm.
It could be that in Ghana we have a wide range of stakeholders. He might have been privy to a document that I don't have. He's not the president. Other than that, I don't think any of them. But in any case, even talking about business classes and other things.
But this is first class.
Yeah, first class. But
Yes.
I'm saying that I've never seen, I have never traveled
So
on.
even as a deputy finance minister, you never got,
Never.
anything
Never.
coming in saying that they wanted approval
Never.
to travel first class?
Never.
Okay.
I've never. I
Okay.
mean, I wouldn't say I know everything, but never. But I was trying to say that I think traveling per se in our country, we need to do something about it. Not necessarily even the class. Of course, the class matters. I think if we really want to cut down costs, most of our travels, COVID was a bad thing, but it gave us a new paradigm shift. How we could communicate, how we could do businesses without necessarily having that done in persons, so that we can cut down costs. As you said, the ticket, the hotels, the foreign foods, and even other allowances. So as much as possible, if we can, we should be able to develop a new paradigm shift where appointees, ministers, CEOs, directors, deputy ministers and stuff like that can have most of their meetings and workshops and stuff like that done online.
Yeah.
So that we can derive the same benefit or utility. However, we are not spending much because we have a lot of issues. We have issues with the monies we generate as a country. It doesn't matter who is in government. In fact, we operate what I describe as negative effective tax rate economy. It doesn't matter whether NDC, MPP. It doesn't matter whether COVID or no COVID. What I mean is that the amount or the money or the monies each year we outlay as a government, it doesn't matter who is in government, if we divide that amount among all the houses or by the houses in Ghana, and each house gets 1,000 Ghana cedis, the amount we generate as revenue, excluding loans, if you divide among the houses, each of them will get less than 6 Ghana cedis. So it's like a family that is constantly spending far more than it earns. And that's why we always plunge into most of these problems. We have woefully inadequate revenue, managing ration or inadequate budget. So some of these expenditures, we need to work on that.
So he's actually in the right direction then.
Yeah, in terms of the rationale and the motive behind, I think he's trying to look for an opportunity to cut down costs.
Yeah.
But it has to be done well. It has to be done properly. I hope it's not just propaganda. Because sometimes we, the politicians, want to take advantage of some of the Ghanaians, their gullibility. That you want them to support, you want them to follow you. So you put into the public domain pieces of information that will let them build a certain affiliation with you, or that will let you increase your goodwill.
Yeah.
And I think we need to move beyond these things. If that is it, I cannot say that because I really don't have. I don't want to do those old time politics I used to do. I think whether MPP and DC, we need to change the way we do politics and make sure that we don't go into unnecessary attacks and this. No, Ghana, we can't recycle these problems.
Fantastic.
So we need to analyze things in a way that as a country it will benefit us and let us progress.
Right.
That's why I'm saying that I'm being very cautious about that.
That's a great one. That's a great one. Honorable Ado, you campaigned heavily to get to Parliament. So probably your ears heard that somebody out there, a Minister of State, was flying first class. Did you ever hear something like that?
My sister, I never heard something like that.
Okay.
Like my brother is saying, or my senior brother is saying, the president might have information we might not be privy to. And I think it is right for the president to put out there the information he has to assure Ghanaians that certain cost elements would be cut from the issuance of such statements. Banning first-class travels, it's going to save the public from incurring such expenses. As my brother rightly said, the president went on further to even give a notice that non-essential travels and other travels needs to be permitted by the Chief of Staff before one can embark on it. And it is going to support what my brother is saying, that when we decide to protect the public purse, certain travels and other expenditure in one way or the other has to be cut. And with the preaching of digital economy, I think some of these travels could be done via technology. Some discussions could be done through technology. If there's no need to have that interaction on a personal basis, then I think the use of technology is going to help in getting this cost element reduced. I think the president is driving Ghana towards a promise he assured of getting them, that is protecting the public purse. And this is how he has started to do it. Cutting down on costs related to travels, I think, is one way of starting such a resetting agenda in terms of cost to the government purse or the public purse.
But at this point, is that the only way that we can save money? Because as he said this, he didn't talk about business class, which also cost a lot. You know, he spoke about first class. And somebody can argue that he just spoke about first class, so I can still travel business.
You know, I was trying to go there. Honestly speaking, I wouldn't want to just let people think I'm a good person or that. I can't remember when I went to Maslock as CEO. We were appointed before we had a board. I think my first, or even first and second travel outside Ghana, I did economy.
Oh, really?
And then when the board came, they were like, no, once you're CEO, it's not you that is traveling, it's the company. So that reputation is also there, or the requirement. One thing we should also look at is that if you travel a lot and then you are doing long distances, the likelihood that you might be getting thrombosis, when I say thrombosis, blood clot is very high. So sometimes that comfortability is needed. That is why I'm saying that what we can do, just as my brother is trying to concur, we need to find out essential travels that will inure great socio-economic benefit to us or for us as a country. It's not everything that we should go, and even the number of people who go. Because sometimes it's not even the cost of the ticket, but the number that goes. Everybody wants to go. And sometimes they don't play any role to add any value to the purpose or the reason we actually went. Honestly speaking, I wish all of us will honestly change. All of us, whether in DC, MPP, politicians in Ghana will begin a new path. A path that will genuinely mean well for the good people of this country. A path that will demonstrate selflessness. A path that will bring out that sacrifice, empathy, readiness to serve. I think we are a developing economy. We are far below the global development league table. We have a lot of areas that we are far behind. If we keep on maintaining our way of life, the way we've been living as politicians, will be very difficult. So anybody that wants to do politics, of course you have individual interests. I've come to realize that that's why I'm against those who think if you're a politician, you shouldn't do any business.
You should do business?
Even now, yes. Even now, pastors who do business, I do agree with them because it will keep you away from the temptation of taking the offertory or the monies you collect internally. Because is it rather the best that because you are asked, look, almost every day I need to outlay not less than 5,000. You don't believe this. How we got, I do like 7 jobs. I'm not lying.
Wow.
I do, I'm not, from here I'm going to my site. I do maize farming, palm plantation, I do pharmacy, I do small construction, I do consultancy. No, if you don't do that, I'm telling you, you will not survive. You go begging.
Yeah.
Because if somebody is going for a surgery, you have to pay. Accommodation, you have to pay. school fees you have to pay, everything. So
I hear you even pay for people getting married.
Oh, that one, they say how much it is. I mean, come and roof my building for me. No, it's not something we are joking of.
Wow.
These are real issues. So if you're a politician and you're not making a lot of money, because how much do you earn from Parliament? I mean, you understand what I'm saying? So then I think it's appropriate you have extra businesses so that you can really support the society, because there are a lot of poor people in our society. And anywhere you go, they beg you. They come with problems. My child is at Kolebu. He is dying. I need 5,000. Sometimes you don't even have. You have to call around. So I think it is very, very good. As politicians, we have businesses to do. At the same time, we should, because of these challenges, sometimes, I'm not providing any justification, sometimes people engage in some sort of dysfunctional behaviors that do not really augur well for us as a country. And it puts pressure on state budget or purse.
Yeah.
So I think what we need to do first, before you become a politician, honestly, have a very genuine heart for the country. Other than don't come.
Most people are selfish.
A lot of people, not that, I'm not saying I'm perfect, we all make mistakes, we are not perfect. But I think a lot of people think politics is about enterprise. Only go and make money.
Yeah.
I hope you understand. Even there are other opportunities you can make money that, my sister, you might not necessarily get into corruption or taking state money or taxes. So we need to define a new corporate or state focus as a country and plan a lot of things. Thank God they are thinking of amending the constitution or whatever it is. They need to look at a lot of tailor-made issues in our country.
So you've always been advocating for that
Of
too?
course, for constitution, because it's long overdue. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's been able to hold us up to now.
Yes.
But what was our population? How was our... Even Accra wasn't
What
like
in
this.
the constitution do you want amended?
I think even the freedoms we gave to, that huge imbalance between the executive and the citizens,
Right.
or even other arms of government, and even the three arms of government. I hope you understand. That's what we're talking. Talking about the judiciary, talking about legislature, and the executive. In fact, in terms of even sovereignty, the executive and then the legislature, they are limited as compared to that of the judiciary because of the power of the constitution.
Yeah.
But I think we need to spread the power. Of course, as executive or president, you have power. But a situation where the discretion of the president is so strong that sometimes some of the decisions, I mean, as human as you are, one person, you are not God.
Yeah.
You can make a lot of mistakes. So I think the concept that we need to truly serve Ghana, not, I've traveled a lot. I've schooled in US, UK, and if you see even white people who do not go to church and the mosque, the things they do, they are the things in the Bible. We who call Christ every Friday or Sunday, Saturday, call Allah, everything, God, the things we do are not necessarily the things that are meant to show that our stewardship is being exercised in a way for the purpose for which we call Ghanaians to give us our mandate. So I think as politicians, we need to change now. We need to help. I'm not saying we are not doing well, but I think we need to go beyond what we are doing. There's so many poor people in Ghana here, but there's so many opportunities that if we utilize them well, Ghana, within a couple of decades, trust me, we'll even go beyond UK and co. Because what do they have?
Yeah.
They have almost everything.
This is something to ponder about. So for you at home, as you're watching, don't forget to send your messages to us on 055-157-5757, 055-157-5757. If we have some messages, I want to read them and then I can move on to our next topic for this morning. So if I can get the messages, I'll quickly read them. We'll be talking about the cholera outbreak in the central region. That's our next topic. And if you take a look at the report, it's quite alarming. So 6th of February 2025 to the 8th of February 2025. On the 6th of February, reported cases of 31 was made. 7th of February 2025, I'm talking about just last week, 24 cases were made. 8th of February 2025, 14 cases were made, making a total of 69 cases. Now, the severe cases, the 6 severe, 27 moderate, and 36 mild. Now, out of the 69 cases, 2 deaths already. Not anything that we want to hear about, right? Of course. You wake up in the morning, you think that, oh, we are in the 21st century and so things should get better. And then you hear of cholera outbreak. Somewhere last year, this outbreak came in where we heard the Ministry of Health actually say that food vendors were not permitted to sell raw salad out. We went out there, spoke to a few food vendors who said they hadn't heard about it. So, yes, the communique was out there, but there was no enforcement whatsoever. What could be the reason why we are recording so many huge cases, especially in the central region, where we are recording 2 deaths? So within a space of 2 days, 69 cases have been reported and 2 deaths have been reported as well. Do we have comments from the previous conversation, please? And then I can go ahead and we delve into this. All right, so we'll take a few comments and then we come back. All right, so we'll come back to our comments. Don't forget to keep them coming in. Send them to us on 055-157-5757, 055-157-5757. But this is quite alarming. Honorable Ado, people are alluding it to our bad water. People are alluding it to our lifestyle. But it's quite worrying. You've seen the report, haven't you?
Well, I haven't read the report, but I've heard the news, and I think the number is too much to my liking. In fact, 69 and 2 deaths. We need human resource to work around the clock to get things moving. So even if one person passes out, as a result of issues we have control over, sometimes it's very sad to hear such news. What am I saying? You know, cholera comes as a result of our sanitary conditions. And maybe by extension, over-reliance on these agrochemicals. Now, everything we eat, we apply chemicals. And as you rightly said, the sale of raw salad, we don't consider the chemical components in this foodstuff before we sell. Sometimes by the roadside, you just pounce on it and you start eating. What I would want to suggest is we all need attitudinal change, and we have to be disciplined. You know, this sanitation issues boils down to the fact that we don't keep our environment as it should. You go to a household and the parent is cooking here, and you can find all sorts of things you don't have to mention on TV, just closer to where they are cooking, where they are selling, and nothing is being done about it. And so our sanitation issues has to be taken seriously. It behoves on us as individuals in the house to make sure that our surroundings are clean. Because for cholera, we cannot make a law or policy that will tackle cholera unless public education. And so Ghana Health Service...
Do you think our public education is low?
I think so. The public education and the indiscipline aspect of some Ghanaians is very high. I have been an assembly member before. And if you consider or you look at the kind of resources that goes into sanitation, as a country, we can make gains out of it if we manage our sanitation very properly. And so I wouldn't want to feel sad for those affected, and
but you have to.
Because of the death aspect, I have to.
No, even I think, Honorable, I think we have to. Reason being that as a country, some way, somehow, as the people are failing, we are failing them in a way. Because I remember when we were growing up, there was so much on having cleanliness. You know, there was a huge education on it. There were adverts being played on TV with regards to us keeping our environment clean. If you don't, I always say tankers will come for you. We don't see these things anymore. So as much as they are failing, we are also failing them, aren't we?
So, my sister, you see, when there is a policy or a program, the policy continues until such a time that we think the citizens must take it up upon themselves. We cannot be spending so much on something that can be taken care of us at our level. That is why I made that statement. But to lose a life, I feel sorry for them. And I will urge Ghanaians to take personal hygiene as a personal step in making sure that their family is protected. You know, safety is personal, and for that matter, anything that you can envisage that it's going to affect you, your health, your safety, you have to make sure you just get rid of it.
You know, there are people that actually get cholera. They are very clean, but unfortunately, maybe where they went to buy the food.
Yeah, that is why I was saying, even over-reliance on this agrochemicals and not cooking it well.
Yeah, so in this instance, yes, Honorable Amoah, I'm bringing you into the conversation. In this instance where you might have done everything right, but unfortunately, you ended up eating. Maybe you even went to a party and the caterer who served the food that the caterer served was not well done, or, you know, the salad was not the best, and so afterwards you got cholera. In such instances, I know that somewhere last year, the Ministry of Health actually did say, they came out with a communique that people were not supposed to sell these salads out there, but they still go ahead and sell it. So we didn't even implement it. So in a way, government is also failing the people, isn't it?
You can actually bring government into this situation. But I also think we need to be careful with everything. We overemphasize the causes being government. My sister, even Jesus Christ, or God that we serve, his number one expectation or want is salvation. What does he say? Seek. It doesn't matter the laws being made. If the subjects of the law, ourselves, do not also work on our mindset and our attitude, it will be very difficult. I'm not saying that you cannot blame a government or the law enforcers or whatever it is. But we, the people ourselves, what do we do? In any case, I think it would be good for people listening to us who know in summary or summarily what cholera is. It's just a spread of bacteria, normally through food or water. Yeah. So, of course, as you said, hygiene is a big issue. Cold food is a big issue. And in Ghana here, the worst case that we had was 2014, 2015. We had about 28,000 cases. We lost 243 Ghanaians. Yeah. Even last year, October, we had just a bit of that. So it's something that keeps on happening. What have we been doing, as we said, as a government? What is the specific policy have we designed? How effective has it been? Do we have it, yes or no? Has it been effective? What do we do? Who are those in charge, especially FDA, EPA, and all those things? And now, one of the things I've also seen in our country is, unlawful siting of structures and buildings, blocking waterways. Yeah. So we realize that the water does not necessarily flow the way they get as a stagnant or something. And once they get stuck at different places, definitely this whole thing about hygiene conditions prevail. And what happened? It leads to some of these things. So I think the relevant stakeholder bodies whose jurisdictions handle these things must be up and doing. Because sometimes the president or even the government, the bigger policy makers, might have put in place all these measures. The laws have been probably designed or ratified or whatever it is for these purposes. But the actors, I always say that people are saying that, oh, our institutions. Yes, our institutions, not because the institutions on paper are not good. Not because the institutions, our systems, our structures, not good. But the actors are the problems. So if you have Rolls Royce in Italy and you ship the same Rolls Royce to Ghana, assuming the roads are almost the same, and you pick 10 drivers in Ghana, 10 drivers in Italy, after 2 years, what will happen? So I think most of our policies and rules and our monitoring and evaluations as government and reviews, we should begin to concentrate more on the human resource too, the actors. I mean, look at how beautiful this place is. If you don't get good sanitation or supervisor who is in charge of cleaning, my sister, after 1 year, this place will not be this. So we need to also advise ourselves as a people, learn, as my brother said, education, awareness. A lot of people do not know this. And it's also the media's responsibility. Because the media, I'm not saying it will not be doing well, but these days, it's all about, you call it sensational news. But I think sensational news should rather be constructive, educative. It should be something that will enhance forward movement of our country and society. What do? Do we use part of even our time or time belt to educate people on some of these things? When we say an organization is embarking on corporate social responsibility or being ethical, these are some of the things. Even some of the segments would have sold. You could use that, call people to come and speak, especially when it's getting to rainy season. I'm sure if all and sundry, if all stakeholders play our role very well as a country, most of these problems, through proper delineations, people will understand and they will begin to also reposition themselves in a way that we can prevent these diseases. And I think as communities, we can. In fact, it's one of the things on my mind. I've even made mention of that in my constituency.
Right.
That my health fund, what I'm going to do, even far before this thing, is now going to assemble all the food sellers in various enclaves where we have institutions and health facilities. Invite the health workers and some of these guys to come and educate them. Then we can have our own, some sort of community communique or something, some sort of protocols, community protocols. That will ensure that if you are selling, your food should be far from probably
and all of
exactly.
But
and then your food should always be hot. You should be cleaning your stuff. Some of the, even the aprons they use. I think we need to go down.
Do you think we need to have punitive measures as well with regards to some of these vendors who decide that no matter what you say, they will still go ahead
I think they are there.
But what's happening? Who is enforcing
We used to have,
them?
is it town council?
That's why I said the town council. You know,
Yeah.
that's why I said, because I'm taking a look back, I think somewhere 2020 or 2019, where you know when the Medina footbridge was constructed, but people decided not to use the footbridge. And so it took people to use canes, and then they started using it. So it looks like people just want the rules to be enforced before they'll go ahead and embark on it. Yes, Honorable Ado.
Yeah, so all that you are saying boils down to what I talked about, discipline. You know, Ghana, we have all the laws. We have bylaws. If you go to the various district assemblies and metropolitan assemblies, there are sanitation bylaws. You can notice that when you go to the district assembly, we have a whole department in charge of, we have the district environmental health unit with a director, a district environmental health officer, who oversees this sanitation aspect in the various districts. So like Honorable is saying, what he is professing is an addition to what is supposed to be done, with he suggesting that his health fund is going to be used to support or organize sellers. Every year, the district environmental health unit goes to renew the licenses of food vendors. without a renewal, you don't have the right to sell food to the public.
So what appraisal do they do? What
You see?
Exactly.
So you just go and find someone has renewed a license for the year, meaning legally she is mandated, you can sell to the public. But if you look at where the person is selling, the environment, you can realize that, no, it looks as if we only are interested in the renewal aspect and other measures that will ensure that the safety and the environmental condition is also serene, is not adhered to. And so I think it's about discipline and also enforcement of our various laws regarding sanitation. Because in Ghana, to be honest, we spend a lot in sanitation.
In sanitation. We spend a lot in sanitation, yet I don't know how clean Ghana is. We have the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Honorable Linda Oklu, saying that she's going to make Accra clean again.
Who doesn't say this? I'm not doubting him.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to have that intention, objective, or goal. But how many years have we been saying this?
But why can't we get it done? What is the problem? What's the reason why it can't be done?
It says something. Honestly, between you and me.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know how Ghanaians will take it. Now, if you speak the truth, they will twist and insult you. Do you think, anyway, I won't say, but I'm asking a question. Are you sure we have gotten to where, as a continent, Africa, absolute democracy is good for us? It's a question I'm asking. I'm not saying I want or I don't want, but I'm asking.
Well, you still have to enforce the law. Democracy is good, but
you see the trotro drivers on the road.
Yeah.
See the cars they use, the vehicles. Just a few of them, ask them whether they are trained, whether they can even read signs, whether the cars are even motorable. I mean, if you like arrest them, what will happen? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
I get you.
So our attitude, our mindset, the way we think, we need to kind of review our democracy a little bit. I don't believe in autocracy. I don't believe in military rule. I know. But I think there should be a fair balance created between democracy and other
like when you go to the Arabic countries.
Because it's like having a child.
Yeah.
And the child hasn't gotten her teeth. And we say that, oh, it's good to eat bones because you get calcium. So the child should eat. I think African democracy is not for us.
Okay. I'll read a few messages that have come in. I'm Vincent from Kwame Sua. With the issue of cholera, we need attitudinal change as a country. Food vendors just think of their profit and not the quality of food they sell. People who issue certification conduct nothing. It's just the money we pay. That's so true, and it's quite alarming. And you see, the thing is, sometimes I say you might keep your house or your surroundings clean, but you end up buying food and you are in trouble with that. I want to ask honorable panelists in your studio, on a scale of 1 to 10, what reference does the government give to the average Ghanaians in charge of sanitation in our localities in terms of salaries? Kofi Amoah Yeboah. Maybe I should ask you this. He's saying, what reference do the government give to the average Ghanaian in charge of
reverence or revenue?
Reverence. That's what he said. I don't know. I think it's reverence. Like, how much attention do we give?
It definitely will be difficult to quantify this from the question he's asking. But I think why the question is very good and important is, in a way, people are calling for more attention when it comes to sanitation. And me, being a financial economist, I always say that even how we spend our money, we're talking about expenditure. What are the expenditure items that do we think are necessarily helping our GDP group, our society, and other things? Have we done the needed correlation test or regression analysis of what we've been on what we've been spending over the years, and see that these are essential areas that we need to give it more concentration or attention in terms of our outlays, in terms of our attention, in terms of material needs, in terms of staff training, in terms of giving orientation, education, advocacy, involving even the media and stuff like that. I think that's what the person is talking about, and I support that. Okay. But as to giving the quantify what he's talking about, I think it will be very difficult. But qualitatively, we need to give it more.
Yeah, and I think as humans, as we are, you also have to give some reverence to sanitation wherever you are, because, listen, government can do their part, but if you don't also do your part, it's going to affect you. So if you have a neighbor who is very dirty, sometimes be bold enough and go to the person and tell the person, listen, you are actually harming all of us. So it's very important.
You know, I've seen some big people that I went to the same washroom with, they never wash their hands.
Really?
You not believe me. Honestly, I was shocked. I've told a couple of my friends, yes, I didn't mention their names. You'll be shocked. You'll be shocked. I'm not joking.
They don't wash your hands?
They just finished and left. I was like, wow, what's it? Me, I was shocked. I mean, I'm like, hey.
Wow.
And these are not small people.
I remember there was an advert. I'm sorry, I'm bringing back, things that were happening in the past. There was an advert of, a woman who was stirring fufu, and she went to the washroom, came back, it showed that it was red. Somebody went to do stuff, showed that it was red. So it told us that you have to always wash your hands with soap, especially after using the washroom. And so people still don't. Anyway, let me continue.
And I think
good morning, Roslyn.
You sell on the street. Those people, where they are selling the things,
that's what they
don't even have washroom. They don't have anything. So if they move around to do maybe something in code wee, what do they use to clean their hands? They don't even have sanitizers. So I think, we need to start educating them and helping them with small sanitizers.
Yeah.
And then, because whether it's good or bad, they also have to live economically.
That's true.
But their level of understanding some of these things probably is not up to our level. So what are we doing to support them? In fact, because of this and your program this morning, I will try to dedicate some money to get small sanitizers and give to them.
Yeah.
As many as I can to support them.
That's a good one.
If they eat themselves somewhere, there's no water, at least they should do that, yes.
Right. Good morning, Roslyn. It's heartbreaking to be talking about cholera in this day and age. Cholera is caused by Vibrio cholerae, which is contracted through feces to mouth. So practically, you have ingested someone's feces, Paul body. That's so true, Paul. Good morning to you. Oh, my goodness. Where's my messages? Sometimes you touch it and it vanishes. Good morning to you and your panelists. My regards to Honorable Stephen. In fact, he's missed. Honorable continues the advocacy for Ghanaians to be realistic when dealing with matters that will bring development to Mother Ghana rather than always playing politics with everything. Nat from Gushegu. Good morning, dear Roslyn. I'm Nyako Emmanuel from Bechem. The bold move by our president demonstrates a strong commitment to fiscal discipline, accountability, and prudent use of public resources. His dedication to ensuring that government officials lead by example sets a positive precedent for responsible governance by prioritizing efficiency over extravagance. You have reaffirmed your commitment to serving the people with integrity and foresight. Warm greetings to Honorable Charles Akwesi Asiedo. All right. Good morning, Madam Host. We are watching live here in Ahafo, Kenya. Say number 2 is Sutifi North District. Madam Host, we should educate all Ghanaians about the cholera outbreak and extend our greetings to Honorable Dr. Ebenezer Kwekuado. And we know you are capable of doing what you're doing. Now it's me, Nana Boedu Fabiano. Okay, so this is from your people, your constituents, Honorable. I'm a public health officer at Ebuakwa Polyclinic, Kumasi. Emmanuel is the name. Okay, Emmanuel. As Honorable was attributing the cholera on the chemicals, is not the chemical, but rather the type of water they use to wash the vegetables. Most of them use water containing the Vibrio cholerae, and they don't wash the vegetables well with salt or vinegar. Yes, and I think that is why, Ministry of Health last year did say that they were going to ban that. Okay, this person has sent messages. You want me to read it? I'll read it for you, okay? Good morning, Roslyn. Afenyo Markin knows the member who called Zaneto. That unfortunately, this is not my topic for this morning, so I will not read it at all. Mensa Majid from Bechem says that, good morning, my beautiful Roslyn. Honorable Ebenezer Kwekuado is really making us proud, and he's absolutely on point. It's my prayer that the good people of Sutifi North will forever vote massively for him. A ban on first-class travel for government appointees will help us to protect the public purse. The misuse of taxpayers' money under ex-President Nanado's administration was too much, but we don't know that for a fact that they were actually flying first class, So for this one, we'll have to get clearance on it. Kudos, Dr. Ebenezer Kwekwaddo. I'm watching you live from Wamahinso? Yeah. Okay, in a
your constituency.
Yeah. Yes, that's his constituency. His people are really sending messages this morning. Okay, good morning, Joy Prime. Hi, Sticker. How is opposition like? I hope they'll do well to apologize for their iniquities and crimes against the state in the past 8 years. We expect the minority to provide a decent and constructive opposition, not a politics of violence and vandalism. No, they are not doing that at all. So I'm sorry. I don't know where you are seeing the violence from, but they are not doing that. Good morning, I'm Big J Tamale. Great submission on excellence from Honorable Amoah. It is high time to stop the politics in our developing sectors because we are lacking behind too much and rather using our natural resources wisely for the beneficiary of the good people of Ghana. I strongly support MPs doing business because of promises made by them. We should all come together to reset this country to be a better place for the youth. I'll read just about 2 more and then I can go on to our next topic. Or I'll do just one. I think I'll do one. Good morning to you, your panelists and discerning listeners. I've just received disturbing news that a large quantity of gold bars, Ghana cedis and US dollars have been intercepted by National Security Agawe Sapeman. As a concerned citizen, I demand that the authorities take immediate action to investigate this matter and bring those responsible to book. We cannot afford to have such lump sums of money and valuable resources falling into the wrong hands. It's time for our security agencies to show that they are committed to protecting our national interests. I call on the National Security Minister, the IGP, and the Ghana Revenue Authority to take swift action to, 1, investigate the source of these funds and intended recipients, 2, take steps to recover and secure the intercepted funds, 3, prosecute anyone found to be involved in this illicit activity. We need transparency and accountability in this matter. The Ghanaian people deserve to know what happened to these funds and who is behind this illicit activity. The more reason oral must work at all costs. I am pleading in the case of cholera outbreak, washing of hands should be practiced one more time, most especially our schools. Baba Jibril Guan. So Baba Jibril has actually opened our next topic, and so I'll just go into it. But please and please again, if we can have the what's the name of the buckets? There was a name.
Veronica bucket.
Can we have the Veronica buckets back in schools? Have the sanitizers back in schools. Have the soaps back in schools. Let's do something in our schools again. It's going to encourage more young people to know that when you use the washroom, you have to wash your hands. Not even just using the washroom. Wash your hands at all times. Use sanitizer at all times. Let's try to fight cholera together. We can. Now, talking about the gold bars that had been intercepted. Yesterday, the news broke. It says the National Security seizes millions, suspects flee. However, there's one name that has popped up, that is Alaji. Who is Alaji and who is Alaji working for? Is Alaji the one with all these, or there's somebody else behind this? And Honorable Ado, I know that you heard about it, yeah?
Yeah, I heard about it. For now, we all have scanty information.
Yeah.
And we are looking forward to receiving an update from the National Security operatives as to who is behind these gold bars. In fact, 12 containers. 20-footer containers. And I think from the news, there are some fake notes also.
Yes, some counterfeits in there.
Counterfeits, in addition to good notes. I don't know how the counterfeits were printed. As for the good notes, it might be from some illicit activity, and you see the gold bars, we don't know. There's small-scale mining all over Galamsey. So when the National Security operatives are able to delve into who is behind this consignment, should I say, Ghanaians will know how to also communicate about it. As I'm here, I don't have enough information, and for that matter, I'll resort to what comes out from the National Security.
Okay, so talking about that, we have a report on it, so let's take a look at the report, and when we come back, we'll delve into the conversation.
Additional boxes opened in the warehouse revealed more cash concealed in compartments barricaded with plywood and sealed with charcoal. According to national security operatives, 2 containers remain on the loose, but state security trackers are actively pursuing them. Meanwhile, a manhunt is underway for 4 suspects, including a ringleader known only as Alhaji. The warehouse search uncovered even more shocking finds, including boxes of metals suspected to be gold bars, counterfeit Ghana cedi notes in 50 cedis and 100 cedis denominations, as well as fake Ghana army uniforms and boots.
So this is a report that was put together by Joy News. We have Adam Bona, who is a security analyst, joining us this morning via Zoom. Good morning, Adam. Hello, Adam. If you can hear me, please say hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Great, and thank you so much for making time to join us this morning. Now, with regards to this issue, almost everybody who has heard about it or has read on it is saying they don't know too much details to it. So if you do, can you help us understand it better?
Well, even if I did, they are still pursuing part of the heists. They are still pursuing part of the containers. 2 of them allegedly, they couldn't find 2 of the containers. Means that they are still on the heels of these suspected criminals who were keeping these containers. And so it's not everything one would want to put out there.
All right.
But I suffice to say, the national security, those who intercepted these would, congratulate them for doing a good job. We haven't had national security do a good job like this. It's too early days yet, for a very long time. In the past, all we had was national security intercepting opponents of political parties and opponents of people and beating them, and sometimes going to Chinese galamsey sites, involving themselves in matters that they are not supposed to be involving themselves in. In the past, that's all we had. And so I think this is a new paradigm probably for the national security to involve themselves in issues like this that we all expect them to be investigating and ensuring that perpetrators are brought to book. So I'm happy to see the national security, do this careful intelligence gathering and going in there and discovering the amount of money. I mean, you would hear fake notes. I mean, it's difficult for anyone to convince me that they are fake because then you don't break into a warehouse where currency notes are stored and immediately say it is fake. You need to authenticate it, to authenticate to be able to tell if this is fake or it's legitimate. And at that material moment when that was done, you didn't have anyone from the Bank of Ghana. They have what it takes, usually, to officially say this is a fake currency note, because they are in charge of our currency note printing and storing our currency notes by our law. And so I'm not sure where that information came from, that they were fake currency notes. Could be because someone saw something, but it is too early days here to say they are fake currency notes. We would have to wait for the entire investigation to unravel, for the entire investigation to come to an end. Then we have probably a more conclusive report with regards to how authentic the notes are. I think it's too early to say they are fake.
Right. Now, Adam, let me ask you, so from what you are saying, 12 and there are 2 containers that can be found. So in total, it's supposed to be 14, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, these containers, were they waiting to be shipped out of the country or they were shipped into the country? If you have any idea of that, please.
Well, like I said, because of purposes of investigation, I wouldn't want, but what I know is that they've been at this warehouse for a while, and the containers are traceable. if the containers are traceable, and so it was a collaborative effort, if you ask me. But as far as I'm concerned, it's too early days here to put out all the information. I thought that putting out everything probably jeopardizes the remaining of the containers that they are yet to arrest.
Okay.
Probably we should have, the national security should have waited a bit instead of putting everything out. Because as it is now, some people are at large, some containers are missing, even though they are likely, they will trace them. As for the containers that are missing, that they can't find, they will trace them, because internationally, containers cannot just get missing unless you bury them under the belly of the ocean. But as far as I'm concerned, they've been there for a while. They've been there for a while, and these people have been operating for a while, and they are politically connected. These are politically connected persons who have been doing this for some time. And so it is good. And there's likely to be, a good number of such arrests in the coming, as the year goes by, if you ask me.
Adam, if you say they are politically connected, what particular party are they connected to, if you have any idea?
This is information I can't put out. As for what political party they are, but when I say they are these are politically exposed persons. These are persons who are known to our setting. And so, but like I said, we would have to be a bit careful with the amount of information we put out there. It's very important, or else we'll risk jeopardizing the investigations. As far as I am concerned, I want to see the remainder of the containers, they seize them, and then those who are at large, they get them arrested. Then anyone who is involved from the top is arrested. Anyone who is involved from the down is arrested. And then those who have been harboring the containers, or anyone who is connected with this heists, they are all arrested, because then in the past, we will hear some of these things. You report, you give information, only for them to get there, and the next thing you hear is, well, they didn't find anything. And so I probably felt that whoever was putting the information out there, that they were fake currency notes, I'm not sure what the essence of that was. Because you can't just send a video out there with information that they are fake. You need physical examination of the currency. And so to say they are fake, whoever is putting it out in the past, that's what happened, where sometimes these things happen, and the next thing you hear is it is fake. And sometimes it ends up not being fake, but in somebody's bosom or in somebody's pockets. And so we need to be very careful saying that it is fake. It has not been authenticated. It hasn't been done officially to say it is fake. So as far as I am concerned, and with what I know, this is an arrest. This is something that we must pat national security in the back. But how the national security operated, and a lot of these users ended up becoming fake, and then ended up us rubbishing it, because then we've tapped them from the beginning that it is fake. It is not fake. Let's hold on, because saying it is fake might be giving someone the opportunity to do the untoward. But I want to believe the present national security is not going to do that, if you ask me.
Right. Now, Bernard, you said they've been operating this for a while. The containers have been there for a while. And of course, everybody at home will be wondering, how long has it been there?
Oh, it's been there for a long time. When I say it's in and out movement, in and out movement, in and out movement.
So let's say a duration of what? 8 years, 16 years, 20 years? What are we looking at?
It's been there for a while. I wouldn't, once again, I think we would have to give the national security that benefit of the doubt to be able to come out conclusively. But I can tell you that it's been there for more than 2 years. When I say it's been there, the activities have been ongoing, with regards to the seizure or the heist, I won't say that has been there, but the movement, this particular facility has been there for a while, if you ask me.
Okay, so I'm just going to ask you one question, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to get an answer from there. These monies, if it's a haste and it's been ongoing for a while, is it the monies that are being taken from our banks to these places, monies that are being taken from our businesses, Ghanaian businesses? Is this the taxpayers' money that is in there?
Well, it is something that I cannot tell. But obviously, you know, with our system, we've been talking about a cashless society, but we are not there yet. If you know how, you know, monies are involved in politics, so it is difficult to tell where the money is coming from. But obviously, it is not money that you can say there's someone broke into a bank to steal, or someone broke into Bank of Ghana to steal. Obviously, we would have known. But obviously, this is money that is coming from crude sources, money that's definitely coming from a source that, you know, the underworld, a source that would involve corruption, a source that would involve looting, a source that would involve a lot of things, obviously not genuine. For that, I can tell you it is not genuine, but obviously I can't also say or put it out there that this money, they broke into a bank or Bank of Ghana and made away with the money. No, but obviously it is not coming from the source you and I know, from someone doing genuine business or someone running a shop and all that, because then that holding facility is not a holding facility for storage of money or storage of gold and you know, precious metals. No.
Right. Adam, my final question to you. Now, we see these pictures circulating on social media. Was it advisable for the security to open up these monies and even picture it in the first place to put it out in the public domain?
Well, I think that it is not bad, because then we would have had a rumor. And if you don't fill the gap, someone else is going to fill the gap. There are two ways. It's either they would have done it quietly, make sure, you know, they are able to nail everything well. Then a proper report is put out with whichever videos you have. My issue with it is the tag that it is fake. I mean, who actually put out that information that it is fake? Or you can't, by seeing currency and, you know, notes and some, you know, shining bars that look like gold, conclude that
it's fake.
Some of it is fake and some of it is genuine. Because you do that, like I've said, you end up, if it is not fake, yes, someone would have to produce you the fake one and keep the genuine ones. We are aware of, what do you call it? Cocaine turning into powder. I mean, I have been involved in sometimes exhibits are kept. I know of a seizure by some police officers some time ago, long ago, of some money that was seized. But because a proper job was not done, by the time the suspect ended up in courts and the money that filled the bag came, the notes had all turned into 5 Ghana cedi denominations. Meanwhile, that was when we had the 50, and then the largest currency used to be 100 Ghana cedis. And so you can imagine someone, you know, taking out all the bigger notes and replacing them with smaller notes. The bag is filled, but this time around, the value of the bag has diminished. So we need to be very careful tagging it as fake. No one has officially come out to say it is fake.
Could it be Adam, that the security have been trained to spot fake currency when they see?
No, you know, you and I know that even when in an issue of someone who, if you are a police officer and you got to a crime scene and someone looks like the person is dead, it is not for you, the police officer, to stand there to conclusively say the person is dead. You need a medical officer to be able to put out a report and say the person is dead. So what I am trying to say is that even if you are trained, it does not matter how much training you have. Your training should have also involved being able to take it easy and ensure that the relevant state institution, that is why we have state institutions, the relevant state institution that is clothed with the power to authenticate currencies, that is clothed with the power to print notes, i.e. the Bank of Ghana, or obviously those who got there, the police forensic, the forensic unit of the various security setup obviously wouldn't have gone there with every equipment they had. And what you saw on social media is what actually happened. So if that is what happened, then it will be very difficult to say, oh, it is fake. Okay. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is that can we do away with the narrative
that is fake?
It involves some fake currencies, right? Because that has not been authenticated yet. You do that, and anybody who has a mind of his own and attempting to do anything untoward would look for fake currency and replace it with probably their genuine currency. So we've got to be a bit patient and wait for the national security. I'm sure that in the coming days or so, they are likely to tell us exactly what happened.
All right, Adam, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We are very grateful. All right, Stephen.
It's very unfortunate if the information... I think we are here to unravel the full story. But sometimes I have a problem with the commentators who are experts, as you called him. I'm not saying what he's saying is not true or true, because I don't have any. But I think you see this underlying political comment. I hope it's not just politics he's doing. Because if you say that this has been going on for over 2 years now, and as an expert in that area, what step did he take? Had they reported that to the national security and they were adamant? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. In any case, I don't think this is the first time.
I think he made a comment that national security had tried to bust certain moves, but every time they got there, there was nothing.
Fine. I hope that is so, because I don't think national security has come out with all these. We need to wait for official comments. And it's like, oh, sometimes back, then so it's just within 1 month, and the national security has changed, and then, look, all the time they see some of these things, except that some of them do not necessarily come into the public domain. All the time. 2019, go and check. Adam report is in there. I mean, Kufuor's time, former President Kufuor's time, first present president's time, late former President Rawlings's time. It's something that all over the world
they do it.
It goes on. It's a bad thing. So it's good that the national security has been able to. But I support the point that, indeed, if these are real stuff, they shouldn't change the meaning and the actual identity or whatever it is that they are dealing with. But if you try to make comments, okay, there are politicians involved. It could be party A or B or C. We are looking forward to these politicians being arrested, because everyone is equal before the law. If you read the article, I think the article 17 of our Constitution, of the Republic of Ghana, 1992 Constitution, it talks about the fact that all are equal before the law. So it doesn't matter whether your social stratum is up there or down or big or small, whether you're a politician or not, whether you are rich or poor, the laws are there. And of course, thanks be to God, if they haven't actually amended that law, I think we have Currency Act 1964. And trust me, issues such as this, they have huge impact on our economy, on taxes, our revenue, downtown in terms of businesses, and then the punishment that comes with it could even be, now that I think they've repealed the death sentence, but it wouldn't be anything less than 10 years. So the law must take its course. The people who are involved should be dealt with by the law so that it will serve as a deterrent. But these are issues that go on all the time. If we are talking about security and in the past, national security, and we were doing the, look, trust me, even now, a lot of things are going on within 1 month. These are the things people do, and people who don't want to do politics, they also want to come and do politics. Because for the first time also in the history of this country, school buildings are being burnt live. They are here. For the first time, private properties are being attacked, burnt, looted. But these are all against our constitution. Article 18.1.2, the one talks about, everyone can have a property, either alone or in association. Then the two will also tell you that no one shall be subjected to the interference of his private home or property. It goes on. So there are a lot of things going on today that they used to also go on, probably in terms of magnitude, not what we are seeing today. So when these things happen, I don't think at the embryonic stage, preliminary, we should start demonstrating politics. Once you bring in politics, it actually mars the beauty.
What if what he's saying is actually true?
I'm not saying it's not, but what I'm saying, that's why I'm making a conditional statement. But if you say that, it is now that the national security, that one I disagree, it's not true, because we have records of national security seizing a lot of counterfeits, go-backs and even other stuff. And of course, national security doing things bad that I agree with him. It's not only today. And I think it's too early for anybody to come out with inferences as if the national security, the appropriate official bodies, statutory bodies have done their work, and now we have results. Once you jump like this at the embryonic stage, one would have thought that probably you are, unless you are privy to something we don't know.
That's
but
what I was going to say. That
if you're also privy to something we don't know, you are not supposed to disclose now till the official report is out. Because if I sit here and national used to now that things, no, I don't think so. It's been the routine works of the national security that they see staff not only today, and sometimes they give information as I said, you go there, it's not there.
We haven't had this kind of seizure in a very long time, you agree. And if it is so, why didn't they even bring it to the public domain? Because this has to do with the public.
Let me tell you that. You haven't heard, I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that the national security, the things they seize, and their operations, not all the time they bring them into public domain.
But something that big should come out, shouldn't it?
I don't know the ethics and the rules. I'm not an expert. He is an expert. So I don't want to go in there. But I am seeing some political comments that I think, in my opinion, they haven't finished with. Because by now, if there are politicians involved, they should arrest them. They've only mentioned one person. If that person is for one party, CPP, MPP, NDC, or whatever it is, of course, there should be evidence that we all know. I'm MPP, my brother is NDC. If we do something bad, clearly you know.
Yeah.
And I think he should be able to provide information to the national security to arrest those politicians, because if politicians are involved, then it's very serious.
Right.
And I'm not saying what he said.
Well, he said politically exposed persons.
So definitely, I'm a politically exposed. He's politically exposed.
Yeah.
So we are expecting
your family
something
is also
within
politically
that.
exposed, right? Is your family not? They are.
No, you cannot say that. No, they don't qualify. If I travel with you or he is, or any of your camera guys, and we go outside, the classification of politically exposed person is not you, it's not him, but it's me, by virtue of my social status as a politician.
So he's saying as a politician, that's what he's trying to say.
I'm saying that he should quickly provide the information for those people to be arrested. I don't know. And I'm also praying. I'm not saying what he says is wrong. I don't have the information. I'm also praying that we don't do the usual politicking when these things happen. I'm only praying.
Okay.
Thank you.
Adabado.
Okay, so listening to Dr. Adam, I think I picked certain information, and I wouldn't begrudge my brother for disputing or not agreeing, not agreeing with him on the political comments or the issues surrounding this political. But he made a statement that the person is politically connected. So someone can be politically connected but not politically exposed. Like he rightly said, both of us, we are politically exposed. But someone can be my friend, and maybe because of the power or the position I have, he gets something which you might not get. In fact, from what Doctor said, He says it's been going on for almost 2 years. Maybe they were picking intelligence.
Over 2 years.
Over 2 years.
He didn't say almost. It's over
2 years. So it brings to question, then what was being done during that period? Is it that the national security apparatus then were not up to the task? Is it that the current national security operatives are doing what they are supposed to
But
do?
it's the same national security. I don't think now they've changed handover.
Well, but if you look at the leaders, I am sure there are certain elements which have been added to the current national security, even at the presidency.
And quickly orientation is done. They've started work and then somebody also said that it is this time that these things are being done. Because you cannot say last year, if I haven't been caught, I haven't been caught. Who is guilty? So maybe it's now that they are doing these things. And thanks be to God, because the national security still has some old people around. They've been able to actually make sure that they have discovered this. Because if, God forbid, something happens today, you can't say that the thing started 10 years ago. It's today, and today is today. So whose regime?
Okay.
The record also points. If we want to do politics...
I want him to make his point.
Exactly.
Yes. So I will commend the national security for taking a step to make Ghanaians realize what is happening. If it was happening or it has happened for more than 2 years now, Ghanaians didn't know. And looking at the quantum of cash, physical hard cash.
All this, they could arrest one person. They've all run away.
So that is the more reason why the expert didn't want to put out much information. He might have certain information that cannot be put online now or on TV now.
That one.
He might be assisting in investigation. And for that matter, definitely we are going to get to the bottom of the menace. So I commend national security for the job being done. And it's quite unfortunate that my brother and I and Ghanaians need development in the various constituencies.
We are seeing this amount of money, yeah?
You see?
In containers.
In containers.
12 containers.
20
they are all filled with money.
You filled with money and gold.
20
Like counterfeit or...
No.
20 feet.
Dollars, CDs, 20-feet containers,
Gold
12 of
bars.
them. And he's saying that they've even run away with 2, so it's supposed to be 14.
They ran away with 2 containers.
2 containers.
So they are
How
now
can you
looking-
run away with 2 containers?
So you could
maybe
put it on a
it's
track.
They airlifted
No,
or...
you can put it on a track and go. So it's just like, we meet container, the cars are driving them all the time on the road.
Haven't you seen the
You have this
Yes.
money
Yes.
to for... how?
But that's what
You see?
we saw videos.
And if you look at
They
the
are not
warehouse,
counterfeit. They are
So
not fake.
they say some, but from what Adam Bona is saying, Adam Bona is saying that they don't have proof because they haven't gone to BOG to say it's counterfeit. So you can't even say it's counterfeit yet.
See, that is where I'm a little bit confused. I'm not saying what the expert is saying is wrong, but as a layman in that field, that's why I don't want to argue because it's not my field.
Yeah.
If it has been going on for 2 years, and up to now, we are still not sure whether it was counterfeit or not counterfeit or... then what investigation has been going on?
No, the arrest was made. This haste was busted just this weekend.
No, I agree, but what I'm saying is, Rosalind, if indeed it's something that has been going on for 2 years, and we are able to bust it today, it means that some work might have been going on not only within 2 weeks or 1 month. I hope you understand. For us to know, it means it's been going on for about 2 years, over 2 years.
So the investigation has been ongoing to, that thing.
For how long?
If you want to, but I don't know. He didn't talk about it.
So what I'm saying is,
business.
I'm saying that if you say it's been going on for 2, 3, 4 years over this, it means the investigation has been going on, as he said, for so many years. Not only 1 week.
We didn't know about it.
No, but if you made that, that's what I mean. So how come they got to know?
But we don't know about it.
You are not getting
I get your point.
Logically, if I say that, this thing has been going on for 2 years.
I should have known about it.
Exactly. It means investigation has been going on for this number. It happens in UK.
Yeah.
I think so many years back, they busted some, I think it was even involved one African, I don't know what it was again. The police had been conducting investigation for years. In fact, they had been tracking, and there they will show you.
Yeah.
They started from this, they sent this to this address, this house, even some of the trade-offs they were doing, they will show everything. So if you knew something, it means they were investigating, they were doing these things for a long time. So by now, Of course, he's an expert. Once an official report had not been issued and signed that it's fake or right, I'm sure that's why he's expediting his professionalism, which he's doing it very well. But what I'm trying to say is that for the investigation being conducted, it's not today. Because they can't say that they knew of the thing over 2 years ago. They only started investigating only 2 months or 1 month or 1 week. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Your point.
But I'm also surprised they've not even arrested one person.
Anyway, they said the people are on the run.
Because out there, before they come out like this, now they grip somebody.
Well, they said they're on the run, and so they will definitely grip them. Yes, Honorable.
So let me, like I was saying, they have mentioned a name. The only name we have heard is Alaji.
Who's Alaji?
That is what we are all waiting for the team to unravel. And so I think I'll commend the team. You know, in Ghana, we had a situation where a state institution like the Electoral Commission, we had BVDs gotten missing or stolen under CCTV camera surveillance. So we don't actually know. Yes, cocaine turned into concrete. So we are only praying that these 12 20-footer containers stocked with cash, gold, and other currencies we will get into the bottom of it and get people apprehended.
But honestly, the Kofi Buachi that I know, Ghanaians should set up.
How?
No, he's very good. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
They shouldn't joke. So those involved in this activity, they better advise them. So Kofi Buachi, even if you're NDC man, and he has to arrest you, arrest you. If you're MPP man, he has to arrest you, arrest you. And he knows all these things very well. He's an expert in these areas. So Ghanaians should set up.
Okay. I'll read just 2 messages. Honorable Stephen Amoah is always on top of issues. He should often come on set. We want to see him more on the show. We need to bounce back stronger. Master Planner, Junior Kintampo. So, Honorable, they said you should come back. One last one. Good morning, Rosalind. I would do Idrisu Atiyeji. Thank God His Excellency John Mahama has realized he exhibited arrogance in his previous government to Ghanaians. Hence, the advice to his appointees. If President Mahama and the field prove is or for the national appointment, that be so. 33 years of good standing. Greetings to Honorable Mohammed Haruna. I see the messages coming, but unfortunately, I can't read any more of the messages. We all have to go right now, so this all time will permit us. For this segment, a very big thank you to you, Honorable Stephen Amoah, for making time this morning. Your people want to see more of you on the show, so we hope to have
a lot of people are complaining. I'll try and stand.
Please start again, because they really want to see you, and a very big thank you to you, Honorable Ado. Thank you. So we can have you every Monday. Is that okay?
Oh, I can't promise.
But let's try. We can do every other.
I'll try.
Let's try next week and see. Maybe you get used to it.
I'll try.
I think he wants to excuse you. You can excuse us because you.
Oh no, you finish.
You should finish. Okay. So thank you so much for being here, and to you at home, thank you so much for sending your messages. I wish I could read all, but unfortunately I couldn't. But thank you so much. And up next is What's Trending with Asiedua Akomia. We'll have sports coming up as well, and then we'll have Women in Business. Don't forget to vote for your favorite couple. We have posted their pictures on Instagram, on Facebook, and on X. So go like and leave your comments for your couple to win a 3-night stay or a weekend stay at the Plush Hotel. That is the Westin Serene Hotel. It all depends on your likes and your comments. That's the only way we can select. And we are going to select on Wednesday. So Wednesday is your cutoff. You can vote from now all the way to Wednesday. And then we make our selection and we go to Takrady with them. Thank you so much, Westin Serene Atlantic Hotel, for this great offer. Don't forget that Valentine's Day, they have a great offer for you as well. So it's 450 Ghana cedis per head. Anyway,